Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? We're all doing very, very well. Now it's Grand National Day today. Yeah, Aintree and the Grand National is very soon to take place. Got a few bets on. So let's see what comes in. Knowing my luck, nothing. But hey ho. Right, now, if you saw yesterday's video, or the very previous video, I did a big unboxing. Astrodyne, your friend of mine, Astrodyne, a traveller in time, sent a box of many, many t-shirts and some figures and movies and music and stuff. And I went through it with a fine-tooth comb, many, many magazines as well. And about a 90-minute video I think I did. And that was yesterday. This morning, we've got the boxes there, you've got lots of bubble wrap, you've got lots of packaging from all the t-shirts and all this. Right, well, I'll keep the bubble wrap to put in the masks and things that you often see in the background of these videos, just to fill the masks out, you know. And I've not put a single mask out at all, have I, this time? But there you go. And so I was about to crush down the big box and fling it all out to the recycling bin, of course. And I thought, hang on a minute, that package down there looks like it's not been opened. What? 1, 2, about 3 packages came out, which in my enthusiasm and excitement of the unveiling yesterday, I had clearly opened up certain things and thrown the bubble wrap and the wrapping packaging on top of some stuff which I hadn't even noticed. So, we're in the land of t-shirts. Astrodyne sent a lot of t-shirts, but I found 5 more, which could have gone straight in the recycling bin. I could have just binned the entire lot without realizing. So always investigate, always backtrack, think what you've done. Little word to the wise there. So anyway, people have been saying how great the t-shirts were, and they're wonderful. And I don't know who he's going to now, but he sends a lot of t-shirts to me. And but there's a few of a very military aspect, which of course I'm going to endorse. Actual Marines, of course, olive drab, you know, the basic green of the military. And there was a couple of t-shirts, olive drab, which worked superbly. And the Jonesy the cat, Jonesy from the Nostromo, I put it on live on camera, shut off my chesticles and put it on. And then I went out, had loads of beverages and a great time. Everyone's going, that's a great t-shirt. And the thing is, the cut of I don't know where he's getting them from, but the cut of these shirts is wonderful. If you're someone like me who you know, you're a bit of a short arse, as you can see from this, I'm actually quite tall for a hobbit. This is one of the new ones, one of the ones I found today. And they fit great. You know, I've got rather, you know, interestingly shaped arms, a reasonably sized, you know, pectoralis, and okay, we won't talk about the midriff too much, not these days. Too much of this malarkey taking place, folks. By the way, bottoms up and cheers y'all, and cheers Astrodyne for the added surprise of these extra t-shirts. But these fit great. So anyway, I found all these and I'm going to show you them now because they're worth talking about. It's also worth saying a great big extra thanks to Astrodyne because I should have found them at the time and promoted them, but doofus here just neglected them. They were hidden over, they got away with it. It's like they lay, you know, there was a massacre taking place and they lay amongst the dead bodies, and the other bodies were being stabbed, bayoneted and whatever, but they managed to get away with it. So this one, I'm actually quite tall for a hobbit, which for me is perfectly apt. I've got the cherubic face of a Samwise Gamgee, and I've got hobbity hair, and I'm only a short arse as well. And I loves taters. Taters? What's taters, precious? Potatoes. We'll come on to that in a minute. And so, but I'm 5'7" on a good day. on a lot of bad days, I've predominantly had bad days of late, I'm even smaller. I'm 5'6", you know. I'm a short guy. It's never worried me. I don't give two flying shits about it. I'm short. I've now got a limp, but hey ho, you know, I'll get over that. And I can still catch you. You know, you do something to me, I could still break into a run and catch you and take you down. So I'm not worried about a damn thing. But I've always been the little short guy. In the Marines, I was very short compared to a lot of, and that's unusual. A lot of Marines are sort of like, well, they're quite, you go in the regs, they're quite sort of 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", but not many 6-footers you get in there. But in my detachments, when I got through, everyone was they're up there, fucking titans. I was like, Jesus Christ. But, you know, if you're a big gangly bastard, a lot of shit can go alongside that. A lot of other afflictions. When you're short and you've got a low center of gravity, whoa, yeah, you're a dynamo, you're fucking sharp, you're quick. And they go, you can reach around like that and do all this. And you can chop their fucking legs out from under them, headbutt them in the ghoulies, and fucking take their midriff down. And then you've got them, you wrap them up. Sorry, I do get carried away sometimes. So I'm very proud to now wear this. I did have a bit of a fear about, people are going to think it's not pride colours, but they're very bright and it's multicoloured. And I thought, like, someone's going to go like, are you wearing some kind of like, are you celebrating pride and all this kind of, you know, see there's words I'm not using right now. But I like the slogan and it fits me. It's a great t-shirt, it looks great, and I love the slogan. But what else did he send? Well, we have them here. Oh, come on, let's come over here. Now this one, when I first discovered it, I thought, is that Al Pacino? No. It's Paul Darrow, who plays Avon, or did play Avon, in the great celebrated cult TV show Blake 7, which Astrodine is a massive fan of. I wasn't so much at the time, but I've grown to love it and appreciate it more with like reruns and the very fact that he sent me a huge DVD massive box set of all the episodes. So, but there he is, and he was the snake in the grass, and there's a little quote from him, which is what, again I forgot the quote is now. I could never stand heroes, because he's like, if you haven't seen Blake 7, but a lot of Americans may well have watched Lost in Space, and you had he was the scientist, the Professor Zachary Smith, and he was the snake in the grass. He was part of the team, but he's also trying to do his own thing, and if he could do them down and win out of it, he would do so. That's Avon. He's a twat. But Blake 7, although it had the Federation, who were like a tyrannical dictatorship run by Servalan. Servalan, played by Jacqueline Pierce, a Hammer starlet, and incredibly gorgeous, and absolutely ruthlessly nasty in the show itself, but with a few bodyguards, some who had eye patches and all sorts, Trevelyan, something like that. Lots of stuff happened, obviously, and the crew of the Blake 7 would the Liberator, but Blake was in charge of it, and the Blake 7 crew would find themselves embroiled in tons and tons of, you know, nefarious missions and trying to escape, and like, oh, we can do this, we can overthrow them here, this outpost, we can do this, and we can save that. It's very soap operatic. It's more akin to Star Trek than it was to Battlestar Galactica or Star Wars. It knew what it was doing. Episodic. Some great characters in there, and he was one of them. And I love these shirts because you can go out and people just look at it who don't know what the hell it is, but they kind of like get drawn in. They go, you can see them looking at it and they're going like, well, they've got to get past the fact they're wearing a kilt as well, and big combat boots, and looking the way that I do. So really the t-shirt's kind of like just, oh god, well, Everything else, I'll just accept the t-shirt. It'll just what difference is that going to make to me now? But some people go like, I see that, and like they mutter to themselves, and don't speak to you. But some do come up and go like, and I've got friends, obviously. I do have friends. It isn't obvious, but I do have friends, and they would go like, "Are you wearing that? Oh, that's so and so." And a lot of these people get it, but it's the ones who don't know me, and they kind of like they want to say something, because that's the market that these t-shirts fall into. Like, if you know, you know. So a quote, someone's face, a meme type thing, taking the piss. But if you know what it's talking about, you're like, oh, I like that. Yeah, I'm with you. I love that movie. I love that TV show. I love this, that, and the other. And I get it. I get what you're doing there. As it opens up conversation, and I do love that. For people who maybe can't speak to strangers. By the way, never speak to strangers, kids. Run away. But people who, they may go, I encounter these people as well, who go out to the pub and they sit there on their Jack Jones. I do that as well. But everyone fucking knows me, so it's not, I do it out of choice. But some people go out there and maybe they want to meet other people and just strike up a rapport, but something's happened. They've lost a wife, a husband, or whatever, a partner, and they sit there and they drink only a couple of drinks. They may sort of look around and let on to people, but they haven't made that leap to actually begin conversation. Now, I'm not saying this is the big remedy to it, but it can't be harmful to it. So people go like, oh, can I ask you, is that Avon from Blake 7? And you go, why, yes, it is. But shut up! I don't want to be disturbed. I'm listening to my music, so fuck off. No, I'm not like that. I'm like that with people who know me. And they should know better than to disturb you. If I'm sitting there with my earphones in, it means I don't want to be disturbed. I'm sick of saying this. It's so fucking obvious, but some people just go, they blunder in, build in a china shop. But for other people, I think this sort of thing works. Like this floating head. Can you see why I thought that was up? No, you can't. Now I'm looking at it again now. I can't see Al Pacino there at all. Paul Dano would be made up with that, I'm sure. He was a great actor. So there's Blake 7 for you. And a lovely, again, another olive drab, military green style. What else do we have? Okay. I'm playing a broadcast score for Barbarian Sound Studio, which is a very bizarre horror movie. Wonderful, very inspired by Italian Giallo and Dario Argento, and a bit of Fulci as well. I like it. It's a bizarre film, but I like it. But I'm sure we can now move on to, because I always do this. And why the hell not? What might that be? East Proctor, perhaps? Stick to the road, beware the moors. Good luck to you. East Proctor's that way. You made me miss. I never missed that boat before. Well, it's got fuck all to do with East Proctor. But it's still American Wealth in London. What's the big John Landis in joke throughout many of his movies? See you next Wednesday. And of course, in American Wealth in Leicester Square in Soho, you have a CD cinema where I'm looking for the figures. They are here somewhere. They're behind me somewhere. You can probably make them out there. Jack, the decomposing Jack, who's been warning his busy mate David Kessler, that, you'll become a monster. You're going to make people like me. You're going to kill. You talk to a corpse. It's boring. And he meets him. He calls him in, and he's at his most decomposed. There's already been a night of slaughter, but they're going to a cinema showing with Lindsay Drew, the great playing Brenda Bristol's. Lindsay Drew was incredibly gorgeous and really outstandingly great personality, but like to get her kit off and made a lot of money out of doing so. And why the hell not? If you've got it, flaunt it, exploit it. So long as you're in charge, then what the hell is wrong with it? So there's the softcore sex film that they're watching, and of course our boy David gets to meet the victims of the previous night. Can't say I'm pleased to meet you, Mr. Kessler, you know. And I'll admit, is Gerald Bringsley, you know, he's a fresh killer, still pretty gruesome. We don't want to show you him. Yes, I do look really unpleasant, don't I, Mr. Kessler? You made my wife a widow and my children orphans. You must kill yourself. And he's like, oh, fucking great, yeah, well, this is wonderful. What a great night out. I'm watching a bit of, you know, tits and ass, and I've gotten told to fucking top myself. But what's the film called? It's a John Landis in-joke. See you next Wednesday. And look at this. Again, it's on olive drab. And you see the poster for it on the subway, the tube station. And there it is. And if you look closely, this is not the original poster that you see, I don't think. I haven't checked actually, but I'm sure. But the slogan is correct. See you next Wednesday, a non-stop orgy. And it says as well, Triple X, I'm sure it says that. Where are we now? The Eros Theatre, Soho, London. And I'm sure it says, yeah, certificate Triple X. But if you look, and there's something I've never noticed before, and it could well be genuinely on the posters that you see for it, outside the cinema and on the tube station. Our lovely bountiful beauty here, she's got 3 raked claw marks down her, well, one of her, how do we put this? One of her chesticles has been ripped. Now that may well be on the original poster. I don't know. It could be. I've never really noticed. But that's something I'm gonna. When Mrs. Kilt-Man goes, "Why are you staring at that woman's breast?" And that's just in the pub later on. I'll be like, "Oh," I'll be going, I'm looking for scratch marks because look at that. They're there. Scratch marks. So I'm not sure if the designer of this t-shirt put them in as a sort of little nod to American Werewolf, obviously. Because why would that be on the poster for a softcore porn movie from the late 70s, early 80s? Either way, it looks amazing. Sorry, I'm looking at it, and you're just seeing that, and me going like, ooh. There you go. So that one turned up as well. What else did we get? A change of colour. A change of colour, folks. Right now. Ooh. This one will not go with American Werewolf. And I don't think I've actually put, when I changed over the system, I don't think I've put the 2 towers on from Lord of the Rings. I don't think I have. But I'm pretty certain I've put, oh, it doesn't matter. We're going to put some Fighting Urukai on, because heck, what the hell. Look, it's a white t-shirt. And look at this. Potatoes. Because what does... Sam and Frodo have now got Gollum in tow. Gollum, he's here somewhere. There he is. The fish was in his hand before, but it dropped out as I was coming down the stairs with it. And I can guarantee the friggin' new cat will find that. Cats and fish, she'll find that fish. But what a doofus I am. And of course, but in that scene, he's got a brace of conies, which are rabbits. He's got these, and he's like, trying to eat them raw. And like Sam's going to him, like, look, you know, you don't eat them like that. You're upsetting Mr. Frodo, because he's been stabbed and he's not too well, and the Eye of Sauron is making the rest of him very sore. You know, a very sore eye. But who's going like, look, you know, a brace of conies. Everyone knows you serve them with taters. And like Gollum's like, taters? What's taters, precious? What's taters? You know, potatoes. And he says like, what is it now? Let's get this right. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a, what's this like? A stew. Fucking hell. I've seen the film a million times. I still misquote it, even though it's written in front of me. And he's like, ugh, and he's watching, and it looks great as well. Sam's doing a great big, a big impromptu, au naturel sort of avant-garde. How many more French terms are going to throw in there? Casserole, and it looks amazing. But Gollum's like, you've done it wrong. It should be raw. It should be wriggling. It should be alive in your mouth and all that. Precious, you're evil, horrible fat hobbits. And like poor Sam's like, you fucking piece of shit, if we didn't need you, your face would be in this fucking pot right now. So again, you're going to get people that are going to recognize it, and those are going to go, what the hell is that? What? Potatoes. And they're going to go, yeah. Oh, you can do that. Are you some kind of chef? Are you, what's it all about, Alfie? And they go, no, it's Lord of the Rings. And then occasionally someone's going to go, ah. And then you get a bit of rapport going, or at least even if you know them, you can start talking about one of your favourite films. So these things work. They are an icebreaker. Obviously, except if you meet Gollum, who doesn't, what's taters? Precious, evil, fat hobbits. Hobbits is. What does Sam say to him enjoying that scene? What does he say to him? You're horrible. You're horrible, you. Okay. So there's two hobbity ones, and now you couldn't hear much of Lord of the Rings there, could you? But hey, I'll tell you what I'm going to do now. Because here's one that I really didn't expect. Well, I didn't expect any of them, obviously, but this is something which I was a bit taken aback by. So I've saved it to last. Cheers, y'all. Let's turn it up. John Allison's score for A Bridge Too Far. The Battle of Arnhem. Operation Market Garden. I am not going to go hugely in depth about my dad's participation in the making of the movie, not the actual Operation Market Garden. My dad was busy firing rocket batteries on New Brighton at the Luftwaffe bombers coming over the Mersey, bombing Merseyside, Liverpool and Birkenhead docks. My dad wasn't out there, although he met many people who were. And he went out there, he took me out there, and we toured all around the Operation Market Garden, battle sites, many different places. Quite a tour we did. Anyway, it's a huge military debacle. It did prove successful in some ways. It brought the German army into a certain area, but it was a massive clusterfuck. Gliders landed, tons of paratroopers in different places, but many miles from where they should be. Loads of things went wrong. I'm not going to go into the whole fucking thing, but it was a disaster. But the men who fought there, be they British, American, Polish, French, Germans, fought with vigour, bravery, absolute courage and conviction, and savagery. But also when it came down to capturing of various enemy, which, well, they captured us basically. They were very, they didn't beat us all up and destroy us and execution squads. They didn't do that. There was a fair bit of compassion because they realised that these guys fought like tigers. They really fought against us, and they were surrounded. And this t-shirt here, I always do this. It's this music as well, though. My dad supplied uniforms and stuff for the movie, and was told you could be in the film, wear a uniform of your own with all insignia and medals. I know I've told you a million times, and in the scene where he's in, the frame cuts him off. He's not actually on the frame. And we went to the premiere in London. We saw, we'll see it, hang on. See you next Wednesday. We saw that first, and then we saw A Bridge Too Far afterwards. We were all there. Several families were there who were all involved in it that we knew. And my dad couldn't be seen. But his Bezzy mate at the time, he was a Dutchman, and this was in the Netherlands, Eddie Eichelstein. He's in the shot, laughing in the big briefing room. Michael Caine pipes up behind as Joe Vandeleur, who leads 30 Corps, the armoured brigade, who arrives late to save anybody, but it is what it is. And in that scene, my dad should be there. He's anyway. But in a pivotal sequence, you've got Anthony Hopkins playing Johnny Frost, Lieutenant Colonel Johnny Frost, who was 2 para. Now they got into Arnhem and they held Arnhem for days against waves and waves of panzers and armoured divisions and German infantry across the Arnhem Bridge, waiting to be relieved, and reinforcements waiting for 30 Corps to get there. But they were way too far away, with disasters, bridges blowing up, more battles, and everyone dispersed across a huge, oh here's the cat, a huge array of landscape, and no one could coordinate. So they fought a gallant last stand, and they had to capitulate and surrender, but it went to savage hand-to-hand fighting. And but it was a great sequence, and it's true. Conrad Ryan wrote the book A Bridge Too Far, and he met and interviewed everyone who survived the battle and told their intimate stories from it. He wrote them all, and they've all been, he got them all confirmed and cross-corroborated, and everything is true. And the film depicts all that, even down to the dialogue is there, and the incarnations of the characters themselves. Sean Connery as Major Urquhart, who's unbelievably cool. Again, another para leader. I know I'm Marines, but the Marines weren't involved in this at all. Not at all. It was all airborne divisions. But in a great sequence, they hold the one end of the bridge, the Arnhem Bridge, which is the bridge too far. They always said they were going to go a bridge too far. They planned to take certain bridges, but Arnhem would be the one which proved their undoing. By putting troops there, they couldn't reinforce them, and the Germans just took it, and Operation Market Garden was an abject failure in what it's supposed to do and achieve. But it still drew millions and tens of thousands of German troops and armoured divisions away from other fields of conflict and caused absolute bedlam. So, in many ways, it was a success. But they occupy a house there, and they've already fought off armoured divisions, and then you hear, after I think a night of there's been incessant firing, then there's a lull, and they hear engines and tanks. It's 30 Corps. 30 Corps finally broken through. So they're out on the parapet of this lovely house overlooking the bridge. There's all wreckage and bodies everywhere. And right, 30 Corps here. Well, it's about bloody time, says Lieutenant Colonel Hollis, I think it is, waving his brolly. And it's a fucking German, it's meant to be a Tiger tank. It's actually a Panther that's been redressed to look like it, something like that. And it comes through, and they're like, Anthony Hopkins playing Johnny Frost he goes, bring up the Piet. The Piet is your portable infantry anti-tank weapon. Piet, portable infantry anti-tank, right? The Mark 1, I think it was. A handheld, an archaic blowpipe, and they miss a couple of times, like, and this fucking tank goes through. But it's a famous moment, and it's genuine. Bring up the Piet! And I don't know if you can see this now, because the sun's poking through. There's Anthony Hopkins as Johnny Frost. Para, kick-ass para. And there is, well, the actor playing the guy that fires the Piet. There's the Piet there, right? Usually a two-man team. You put it in the pipe, put the missile in there, the shell in there, and I've never encountered a Piet in my life. When I was in the Marines, we had the Milan, and I never fired it at all. I did see it in action, and the Milan, but the Milan was usually on a tripod. People had said, "Oh, you can fire it off the shoulder." I never saw that happen. I saw it on tripods. That was the only fire on tripods. That got replaced. Oh God, I don't know. It's so long since I've been in. The Javelin, I think, took its place. A portable anti-tank weapon system, the Javelin, which I think we're still using. It's probably been modified and changed multiple times, but the Javelin anyway. But the Piet became massively synonymous with, like, right, the odds are against us, but bring up the Piet, and it became a slogan. You know, even before memes meant anything, this was a slogan of, like, right, shit, the Death Star is here. Bring up the Piet! Use the Force, Piet! So you've got Johnny Frost there, and you've got the guy who fires it. But it doesn't say, I mean, it doesn't say bring up the Piet, but it just says a bridge too far. So no one, when I wear this, which I'm going to wear it when we go out in a bit, when I wear this, because I've worn this already and a bit out, so I'm going to wear this one now. And as you guys well know, around here there are tons of powders. There's one or two other Marines, one who has terrible PTSD and doesn't come out very often, and there's a couple of SAS. There's a guy who's SBS, but you don't see him very often, and there's well, I say a couple of SAS who are genuine, and there's one who's a complete and utter Walter Mitty who does my head in, and I really should pull him up, but it's embarrassing to do it. But he's sailing on false glory, and you shouldn't allow that to happen. But anyway, he's around, but a lot of people just don't listen to him, so it is what it is. But wearing that, no one's going to have any sort of, you know, well, what's that then? You're all going to know what that is. A bridge too far. Apart from the kids these days, the kids who've got no idea about history, none whatsoever, because their history's being rewritten. Kilt-Man, what? Don't get political again. Oh yes, shit. Sorry. But wars are political. Everything is fought from a political standpoint, be it campaigning, colonialism, land grabs, whatever, commerce, overthrowing a dictatorship. It's all. Why am I talking to you? I should be talking over there. It's all, politics plays a part in every single campaign. Cavemen, politics, you against that tribe over there, that bunch of dark-haired cave dwellers. Well, we're the fair-haired ones, and we hate you. Politics plays a part in it, because we might be able to, if we can stop fighting and we can share some antelope and mammoth meat, then we could, but meet a détente. Politics plays a part. It's all negotiations. It's all, we can do this, we can do that, and join together. But we don't trust them because of this, that, and the other, and everything's got spin on it. Politics, folks, politics. Every war is fought with a fundamental element of politics behind it all. And in this day's world, politics plays not just a nugget in there. It is the overriding thing. Lies and deceit, folks. Lies and deceit. That's what wars are these days. Yeah, they have been. Vietnam was born out of a massive lie, overblown. Suez, Korea, not so much, but you know, Vietnam certainly was. The first Iraq war, weapons of mass destruction. Don't get me started. Sorry. Oh, You didn't get me started. I started myself, didn't I? Cheers, y'all. But when it comes down to it, guys like this, and don't forget, these guys were either conscripted or they volunteered. Most of them volunteered, went out there and fought for their country, for their beliefs, freedom against a fascist dictatorship. That's what they did. I'm going to start that again. And there's a great scene, and it is to do with Anthony Hopkins when they get captured, and it's Maximilian Schell who plays the German overall commander of the Arnhem divisions. I forgot his name now. And they go in there, and everyone's wounded, and like Johnny Frost sits next to Hollis. Hollis, he's battered, and he's got a big bandage over his head like that, and like you sit next to each other, and Hollis just goes, Johnny, you know. Always do this. A bunch of t-shirts. How'd you get emotional over that? Johnny. It's like, no, we're okay. Are we safe yet? Have we got relief? And the Germans have come in there. And the Germans, everyone's just staring at them like that. They fought tooth and nail. Literally, two para have fought incredibly. And the German offers chocolate. It's good chocolate. It's good chocolate. It's British or American. It's British, you know. Yeah, good chocolate. It's like Anthony just goes, takes a bit, and it's like there's no shame in having fought valiantly, and then you've got to do the right thing. You can fight to the last man if it's worth holding out as long as that. But if you've got so much loss of life, what? Don't do it. Save everybody. Save all who's left. I'll tell you something else. And this will be backed up. You get injured in a conflict, and you're in a firefight, and you hold up somewhere, and you've got people who are, yes, they're terrified. They've been shot, they've been stabbed, they've been whatever. They've got shrapnel. There's been all sorts of horrendous, maybe burns. But if there's a lot of you, and this campaign, which we don't have these days, this was literally thousands of troops entrenched in battle, day after day after day, and you're seeing your friends get butchered and all that, but you're fighting back. There's an enormous sense of camaraderie. Even if you're injured and like you've lost an eye, you know, your teeth have been shot out, but you're seeing with your one good eye other people around you. I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's true. You see other people around you, kneecaps been shot, they've lost a foot, but they're up to. Unity is a driving force behind us all. You feel you need to belong, and to see other people. Okay, it's blood, chaos, and like, oh, we're gonna lose. They're coming for us now, but we're together. We're together. They're not thinking about, oh, when I go back home, I'm gonna be a cripple. How am I gonna live? They're looking at other, you know, blood brothers, and like, oh, you're in the same boat. Oh, well, if we ever do get back, we can limp together to the pub. You've got no arms. I'll bring the pint to your mouth. It's true. It's true. That camaraderie is huge. I wish many things, but one of the daftest, I wish my dad was in that shot in the film. That helping me, is it? Because I know it upset him that he wasn't there. that he was there, but the frame cut him off, and we bought every single version you could possibly get. And I know movies. I thought that once you've got the widescreen version, that's the frame they want, and you're just not there, Dad. Anyway, meant to be a fun video. That's brilliant. I love it. Bring up the pit! Hopkins is amazing. Johnny Frost, fucking awesome. And absolutely, he's like King Leonidas. You know, I'm not going to give in. And they move the Piet. The Piet misses a couple of times, which is not hard to. They're firing from elevated position. You don't normally fire the Piet from that. You're firing a sort of line of sight. So the tanks coming towards you, armoured cars coming towards you, or troops coming towards you, and like you fire directly at them, 100 yards it is. You've got your team member there, 2-man team, who reloads it. Hopefully they don't call it a pin, I'm not sure what they call it, but it fires the shell, and it should come back to lock to put the next one in. And if it doesn't do it, then you've got to manually do it. It's just taking a bit more time. And he missed the tank, and it's true, this is what happened as well. Like, they did miss because they're shooting from an elevated position, but in reality that team fought, and they took out a lot of enemy armaments and troops as well, using the Piet. Well, there you go, folks. Can you even see that? It's gone very bright outside, so very dark in here as far as I can see. But there you go, Anthony Hopkins and the guy with the Piet there. That's the Piet. Bring up the Piet! Folks, t-shirts, imagery, music, memories, reflections, food, support. Did you see a fairy paw do that? Or was that the spook that did it? Because the cat is around right now. So I don't know. I've got a few troops lined up there, but some of them have just fallen over. Anyway, there's the cat right there. Go. It's just sprinted out. Evil. I'm pretty set that did it. I'll check the video back. I'll ignore me whinging. I'll flick past all that. Cheers, you all. Superbox saves the day. So you've got Hobbits, you've got Blake 7, you've got what else? You've got titty bits in porno cinemas, werewolves bring out, titties bring out the beast in most men. Well, in this day and age, not all men, obviously, but bring up the Piet! A very phallic looking thing. Weapons are all phallic. Men create phallic things to kill other men. It's bizarre, isn't it? Everything that they devise penetrates. Be it a blade, sword, bullet, missile, penetrates. You know, you can have a field day doing the psychology behind all of this, but war is war, and you know, war. War. Right, folks, I'm out of here. I'll be showing you the the howling werewolf figure, who actually was there and has fallen over. He was the one that brought down a couple of our squaddies here. And so, is he working for the Germans? The Germans? He's a werewolf, you know. Right. In the meantime, in this ever, t-shirts can rule the world in between time. Please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. And I'm going to see you all. Watch A Bridge Too Far though. I've discussed it many times. All-star cast, James Caan, Michael Caine, Sean Connery, maniacs laughing at me from the trees. And he's outstanding. There's a great action scene with him. And you know, Paras and Marines have a huge rivalry between them. when in conflict and operations and exercises, they work together very, very well. But it's like football teams having huge rivalries. Any kind of sporting element has a rivalry. Military detachments, regiments have rivalries. It brings out, it gives you something in times of peace. It gives you time, something to work towards. We've got to beat them in like certain sports events or certain exercises. We've got to beat them. And you have this. It's always been the case, always, and it always will be. Well, it should always be. But the Wokey brigade want us to all be peace and love, and yet still go and kill the enemy if it happens. But how are you going to do that if you? No, don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm out of here, folks. So have a good one. Be happy, be healthy, and hey, wear your t-shirts with. I was going to say pride then. Whatever floats your boats. Astrodyne. Cheers, buddy.